Today we're going to be working on a little skinny folio using the Trick or Treat collection by Marie Koegelenberg. I do have a tutorial on the PhotoPlay YouTube page for a skinny mini that I made, and so this is kind of like an add-on to that. You want to do something a little quicker or faster. I bet you could probably even make some expandable pockets and put some candy in here. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me move that out of the way, and I'm going to show you this cute little folio real quick. So we're just going to open it on up. And this is kind of like a quad folio, I guess you would call it. And of course, when I want to open it, it doesn't want to open, huh? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, I got to get it all mixed up. Okay. So I used one of the ephemera cards right here, and I used lots of stickers from the sticker sheet. And then my friend Tammy Volland sent me these cute little Halloween brads. And then I just added some kind of like seam binding ribbon, not exactly. This is like a yarn from my local craft store. And then again, I used another ephemera card on the back. Now, I'm going to let you know, you can put these, if you want to do this type of closure, if you want to do magnetic, you can do that also. But I decided to do a tie closure. You could actually put it underneath your cardstock, which we're going to do today, if I remember. Okay. And then on the inside, it has a cute little mat, photo mat. Okay, well, let me put that to the side so I can go ahead and keep going. Then we have a smaller waterfall folio, and then we have 3 little pocket pages to hold your journaling cards. And you could even put photos on the back of these. That would be super cute. And then this top one, I actually have it holding these tiny, tiny little ones right there. Those are so cute. And then right here, I have what I call my little bite out of crime piece here, but this is how I made mine. And this is actually a magnetic pull-out page. Right here we have a little Monster Bite pocket page where you can hold some ephemera cards. I made a small little booklet, which I will show you how to do that. That's pretty simple. And then I did back up one of the cards with some black cardstock just to give it some thickness here. And then also I call this my Monster Bite larger waterfall. So, and that is the end of that. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me move this out of the way in case we need to refer to that. Oh, and this. So first of all, you're going to need, thank you, Monica. We're going to need 2 sheets of cardstock, okay? And they're going to be 9.5 by 8.5, okay? So I used 8.5 by 11 paper, and that made it a lot easier for me. And then you're going to score at 4 inches, 4.5, and 8.5. Now, Tammy Volland has already got our written instructions for us ready to go. So after the live show, we will upload them to box, and then we'll put the link down below for you all. Okay, so I'm so excited to be having her on our team, and it's just awesome. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing with both things, but so it would actually look like this. Okay, I know it's kind of hard to tell with black, so I'm going to kind of turn it a little bit so you can see. Now what I did is I grabbed a piece of chalk, okay, and or you could use a pencil and then just put it in the center, because you're going to cover this up with paper anyway, so they're not going to see this. I marked it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Then on then you're going to flip it over, okay, and then you're going to mark it I, J, K, L. Skip this one, M, and O, because actually this is going to be attached. And so you're not going to see this one anymore, okay? So let me go ahead and grab my cutter, because what I want you to do on E, turn it over, and you're going to take off, oh, just about a 1/16 of an inch. Real tiny cut, okay? Just like a sliver, just like that. All right, and that's so that when I'm lining this up here, it is not going to get caught in my score line, all right? I'm going to turn this back around. I'm going to grab my glue, and I like using both glue and tape. Hi, Debbie. we are going to, oops, add our adhesive. And then I'm just going to lay this right on top of each other, except I'm not going to touch the score line, okay? But I'm going to get it as close to it as I possibly can. Okay? And I'm going to burnish that in and wipe away any excess glue. Okay, so now it's going to look something like this. Again, we have our A, B, C, D is gone, so now it's E, F, G, H. Okay? And then here's the back of it, okay? So what I want you to do is you're going to get your pattern cardstock, and I already pre-cut mine just so that this would move a lot faster, okay? We're going to need 6 at 3 7/8 by 8 3/8, okay? Currently, I'm just going to use 2, which I'm going to put on the top of K and M, okay? You're going to need 2 also at 7/8 by 8 3/8, okay? And that will go in the center. And then I'm going to flip this over and we'll use it on the opposite side as well. But for now, we're going to work on this side. So for J and N, you'll need 4 of these. Did I make 4? I did make 4. Okay. Sorry. Okay. We're going to need 4 of these. Again, that same measurement, 8 3/8. But this is going to be 3/8 an inch. So just under the half tick mark. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and glue these on. So let me just move this out of the way so I don't accidentally get glue on my pieces. Okay. We have lots of Debbies in the house. So far, I've seen 3. So hello, Debbie with a Y. Well, we have 2 Debbies with a Y. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to center this. Move it over a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to burnish it in. First, I'm going to wipe away my excess glue, okay? Burnish that in. And then I'm going to use, again, my 7/8 by 8 3/8 piece. And I'm going to put that on L. And don't worry, we have a cutting guide and written PDF instructions for you. I'm going to put that in the center. Okay. And again, we're going to burnish that in and wipe off any excess glue. Then we're going to go ahead and add on our second piece here. And we're going to glue these on as well. Okay, so it should look something like this, okay? And then we're also going to add on our 3/8 inches by 8 3/8 pieces. And then we're going to flip it over and work on the inside. So guys, no need to write this down, because if I mess up on the video, you have your actual cutting guide, which is your true measurements that you're going to follow along with, okay? Okay. Now I'm going to turn this over this way. And my middle piece, I'm going to go ahead and add this in here as well. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers hole punch, and I set mine at a 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to flip this back over. And I'm going to, sorry, I got glue on my hands here. I'm going to center this and then punch it at the 1/2 inch. Turn it around and do the same thing. Okay. And then I'm going to, I know this is upside down, but that's okay. Sorry. Just the letters are upside down. I want to make sure that this is upside up. The best thing to actually do when you're doing your cover is to use a pattern that you could use any direction. And I do believe I used that the first time. In fact, I used my stripe, so it wouldn't matter if it was upside down or not. So I apologize for that, but okay. And then we're going to do our last little pieces here. Hi, Jennifer. Elmo. Oh, hello. Okay. Center that. So now we'll have all our spine pieces put on, which you will have 3 of them. Hi, Becky. Okay. And again, final piece. Okay, I'm going to re-punch my holes. Hold on, guys. I got to grab a little pin here real quick so I can get out any pieces of paper that are stuck so I can see where I'm punching. Just going to realign that back. Well, I thought I was. Get out of there. There we go. Doesn't help when the glue gets stuck on there, huh? I'm going to re-punch that. Okay. Turn it around and do the same thing on this side. Now this is the 1/8 inch eyelets that I'm going to be using, but you can use any size. I think I'm going to use the black ones to go along with my Halloween theme here. For my fall one, I used the copper ones because I thought they had that pretty rose gold look. Okay. Move this out of the way. And I'm going to make sure that I have this on the outside. Oops. My word. Here we go. They're so little. Hi, Jessica. I love the pumpkin page. It's so cute. And then I'm just going to press lightly. I want to press it hard enough that it will stay, but not too hard that I don't crunch it. It's taken me, I don't know, maybe 2 years to get this where I press it just right. Usually I mash the heck out of it, and then it just looks crazy. So anyway. There we go. Perfect. Let me move my little scraps out of the way here. Okay, so don't mind this, guys, okay? This is actually going to look different because, like I said, I realize now when I did this before, I didn't have a pattern, a directional pattern going on for my cover. So now this has changed the alphabet. But the written directions are going to be okay, all right? So the first thing we're going to work on is our inside page. So we have 2 score lines. I want you to go ahead and fold on those. Okay, and I'm just lightly pressing them right now, okay? We're going to work on our, should be our angle pocket. Yes. And for our angle pocket, You're going to need a piece of cardstock. Let me put my mat aside real quick. That's going to be 4 7/8 by 8 1/2. Okay. On the 8 1/2 inch side, I want you to score at a 1/2 inch. You're going to turn it one time back to the 4 3/8 side. You're going to score at a 1/2 inch. Okay. Then you're going to grab your ruler, and at the very top, we're going to take our ruler and measure at 1 3/4 and put a tick mark. Now mine's kind of dark, so you can see it. Okay, you don't need to do it that dark for yourself. Okay, then we're going to turn it to the side, and then from here, the top to here, you're going to you're going to make a mark at 6 1/2 inches. Okay. Then you're going to make another score line, okay, and I forgot to mention this earlier, on your 4 3/8 inch side. You're going to score at a 1/2 inch and then at 4 3/8, okay? And then you're going to cut out this little section right here. And I did that with a pair of scissors. I didn't put it on my board. Then we're going to cut this off as well. Okay, so I'm going to line this up on my cutting board just where they connect. And you're going to have to kind of go slow when you get to here because you don't want to cut off that little edge. You're going to need that. Okay, so once I get down here, I'm just going to start going real slow. There we go. And it's done. Okay, and throw that little piece away. And now we're going to go ahead and miter our little corners. So I'm just going to cut that off. I'm going right up to the score line and I'm cutting that off. Okay. I'm also going to do the same thing over here in a downward position. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm just going to slightly trim off some of this, okay? Don't want to trim off too much or you're going to lose your pocket, okay? Next, you're going to need your pattern cardstock is going to be for the top of your angle pocket 3 3/4 by 7 3/4, okay? This is where your pencil is going to come in handy. Okay, I'm going to make some more tick marks again. Okay, so if you see your little tick mark here, you're going to go just about a 1/16 of an inch to your left. Okay, and you're going to make a tick mark. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to be on the right hand side. I see my little tick mark. I'm going to go down about a 1/16 of an inch again. And if I did this right, it's going to work. If I did it wrong, I'm going to look like a total dork. No, I'm just playing. Okay, so again, I'm going to line these up. My little tick marks. Okay. And cut. And then again, I can throw away that little piece right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold on all my sides here. I got like a bunch of glue on my finger. That's crazy. Okay. I'm going to burnish it in with my bone folder. Okay. And if I did this right, it should be in the right spot. Yay! It looks pretty darn good. I'm actually going to move it up just a scooch. Okay, and now I know that I can go ahead and glue it onto my piece here. Sorry. Let me plug up my little glue. I don't want that to dry up. Okay, let me just flatten this out a little bit. Okay. Now, since I use chalk, this is going to rub off. So it works pretty good. Okay, now for the base paper, you're actually going to need this size, 2, 4, 6, well, not anymore. It would have been 8 altogether, but we've already used 2. So again, that same measurement, let me give that to you again, 3 7/8 by 8 3/8. I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Okay, it's just easier for me to do it this way. Okay. Thank you, Monica. I can't tell you how many times I've messed up doing my corners, okay? Like royally numerous. I've lost a lot of paper doing that. Okay, I'm going to burnish that in. Just a second. Okay. Okay. Now I can add on my pocket, okay? Oops. Add my glue here. Make sure I get it on my edge. All right, and I'm going to do this little piece last, okay? I'm just going to line it right up about 1/16 of an inch up from the bottom of the blue purple paper. So you should still see that little edge. And then I'm going to keep closer to this corner, okay? Don't go over the edge, but don't underestimate it either, okay? You just don't want to have this on the score line, okay? Okay, and then for my little piece right here, I'm going to pull that out, add my glue, and then tuck it back in there, okay? And burnish it in. Okay. And then for my photo mat, I'm not going to cover this right now, but this is going to be 3.5 by 8 inches, and that will tuck right on in here, okay? Now we're going to start on our small waterfall page, okay? Move that out of the way real quick so I can give you these measurements. So first I got some small thin ribbon. Well, you could use any ribbon, seam binding or anything. This is about 21 inches long, maybe a little hair over, okay? So I have 2 of those, okay? And then again, you're going to need, as I said, the same measurement. It's going to be 3 7/8 by 8 1/4. Always my bases are the same, okay? And then my waterfall, going to need 6 at 3.5 by 5 inches. And then your bottom piece is going to be 4.5 by 3.5. So 3.5 by 4.5. So let's just start with these first. Uh-oh. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. So this is exactly 4 inches from the left to the right before you get to your score line. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little tick mark with my piece of chalk at 2 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing. This is so I know where to put my ribbon. If you're using magnets, of course, this wouldn't apply to you. But for the ribbon, and I made mine extra long, and I will cut off all the extras that I don't need. Okay, let me just add that on real quick. Don't worry, we haven't missed anything. I just realized I need to do this part first, right? Hopefully we don't have too many weird internet things going on. I did notice the other day we had some AT&T trucks out there, and I don't have AT&T, but I don't know. Maybe they run the internet around here. I have no idea. So we had lost our internet like yesterday, as a matter of fact, for about 20 minutes, and then it came back on. No explanation as to why, but it happened. So here we go. Sorry, I'm just using a little bit of tape to reinforce it while I'm waiting for it to dry, okay? Okay, now I'm on the right side. Pumpkins facing the right way on the other side. Okay. So I'm going to grab my colored cardstock, pattern cardstock, and I love the striped pattern. Love, love, love. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Hi, Lori. Now, do you go by Lori or Lori Joe? I'm assuming Lori Joe, but I could be wrong. Hi, Krista. All right. Oops. Just burnish that in. Okay. Now I'm going to flip this over. Okay. And this just makes it easier for me. Again, I'm going to grab my little ruler here, and I'm going to measure at a 1/2 inch from the top. And I'm going to make a small little line here. I'm actually going to cover this up with my waterfall, so I'm not that concerned. And of course, it's pencil, so it'll erase anyway. I just wouldn't suggest using pen. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to keep it upside down. I know this is strange, but it's easier for me to see. I'm going to go ahead and grab my waterfall. I'm going to work on each piece one by one. And I'm going to get out my score tape just for my first piece. The rest I think I can glue on there without any issues. And go ahead and glue this on here. And then I'm just going to make sure this is straight. I'm just going to line this up to my line that I drew, and I'm also going to center it before I place it down, okay? And I can see that it looks like it's about the same distance, about a 1/4 inch on each side. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my next waterfall and continue on. Whoops. And I'm just going to slightly go over the next one. Before I press it down, I'm going to make sure it lines up, and it does. It looks pretty good. I'm going to burnish it in. Okay. I'm going to keep on going. Again, a slight little hair over the last paper. Make sure it lines up, and it is. And burnish it in. Again, wiping off any excess glue. We've got 3 more to go. Now this part, you never want to rush yourself, because if you do, that's when it's going to go crooked on you. And I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me either. Okay. And we're going to burnish it in. Okay. One more. Now this one is perfect for your 3x4 cards. Again, lining it up just slightly over the last piece, making sure it's lining up properly. Okay, and when it is, press it down. And our last one. This is a new bottle, and I see that it seems to be flaking a lot, which is kind of weird. But maybe because I have my fan on. Okay. Here we go. Looks good. Okay. Now for our last one, we are just going to line it up right down. Not, you're going to leave, well, no, I'm lying. I'm going to go over a slight hair, okay? I changed my mind. Go ahead and glue that on. And I know it seems strange that I'm putting this down here, but I just don't like it when the waterfall just stops abruptly. It just seems kind of strange to me. So I started adding in this little piece here at the end, and I kind of like how it turned out. So make sure it looks good. Move it over just a hair. Yikes. That look good? Yep. All right, I was right. Okay, and then burnish that in. Okay. So I'm going to turn it back around. And I'm going to grab one of my cutie patootie little ephemera cards. And I think I really like, let me see, little pumpkin, happy Halloween. Let's go with happy Halloween. That'll be cute. I tell you what, guys, I'm not this organized when when I'm crafting on my own, okay? I promise you, I am not. Only when it comes to my live shows. Otherwise, my desk is a crazy mess and I have stuff all over. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and center that. And it kind of, I can't believe it matched perfectly with the paper. That's crazy. So cute. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and paper these later because we don't want to spend all day with me adding my little photo mats, okay? I'm going to just hold my finger down in the center, tie it tight, okay? And see where I like to have the ribbon approximately. And then I give myself a little bit of room and cut that off, okay? Okay, so now we're going to start with our next piece right here, and that is going to be our little triple pocket, and these are so cute. Okay. You're going to need 3 little pockets. Actually, let me just show you how it's going to look, okay? Before everything is all trimmed up and done. Okay, it's going to be 4 7/8 by 3 inches. And on the 3-inch side, you're going to score 1 time and a 1/2 inch. And on the 4 7/8 inch side, you're going to score it a 1/2 inch. And then at 4 3/8. Okay? Then we're going to go ahead and trim it up a little bit here. Miter our corners. Okay. Oh, actually, before I do that, let me show you this real quick. Before I do my top piece, okay? I'm going to get out my little punch board. If you have a circle punch, you could do that as well. So this was a really weird measurement, okay? It was like 2 7/16, which is actually closest to 2 3/8, okay? But except here's the 2 3/8 inch, right? When I went, oops, sorry, there's the 2 3/8, 2 3/8 inch, and on my little board I see one little tick mark. I'm going to go one little tick mark to the left, okay? And punch, okay? Let me see if I have another one of these that I need to do that with. And I probably shouldn't have cut it off there because now it's not going to be centered. But anyway, you have 2 choices. You can go ahead and glue on your pattern paper before you do your punch, or you could do it afterwards. You could even do little bite marks. That'd be really cute too. So your pattern paper is going to be 2 3/8 by 3 3/4. Okay. And for me, you'll need 3 of those. I'm going to have to find my center here, and I'm going to give that to you in a second. That's the one part I forgot to tell you. Let me get a pen real quick so I can see this a little bit better when I'm lining it up. It's going to be at 1 7/8. Okay, so I'm going to do all of these right now. So line it up, 1 7/8. Okay. Okay. And it should look about right. Let me see which way it looks better. Nope, definitely that way. Okay, I'm going to glue this on here. This one I've already mitered my little corners here, so okay. I'm going to go on to my next one. Okay, and I'm going to miter my corners. I'm going to take off a slight more there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and miter this real quick too as well. Okay. Sorry about that. I have had a crazy day so far already. Okay. Okie dokie. So I'm just going to burnish these in real quick. And I'm going to start folding on my score lines. And get these all ready to go. Okay. So I'm just going to put these over here the way I want to stack them, all right? Sorry, guys. Again, here's my base piece, okay? And that, again, the measurement's 3 7/8 by, this should be not 8 1/8. This one is too short. That's okay. I'm going to show you if you cut something too short, you can still use it because we're using our pockets at the bottom. We're covering this up anyway, so they're not going to see that. Hey, it worked for me this time. Whew. Okay, it would have been 8 1/4, not 8 1/8. I try not to have to recut paper, let me tell you. Make it work. Okay, just line that up in between my score lines. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my first pocket. Sorry, these little bow ties are making me crazy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue the bottom first, okay? Just so I can make sure that I have it straight. I'm going to line it up towards the bottom. I'm going to leave a slight hair, about a 1/16 of an inch. I want to make sure that this is centered in here. Scoot it over a bit before you press it down. That looks good. Now I can burnish it in and continue on with my pocket. If you do not miter your corners, you're not going to be able to tuck your pockets like I'm going to show you in just a second. Okay, so you need to make sure that you do that. Okay, and I'm going to burnish that in pretty darn good. I'm going to take my next pocket and do the same thing. And I'm just going to slightly tuck it there just a bit. Okay. Burnish that in. Or not even really tuck it, I'm sorry. Kind of line it up right next to, right just above it. Okay. Again, if there's any glue coming out, wipe that up. Don't want any glue in your score lines. I'm going to go on with my third piece. And again, just above the last one. And burnish it in. Hi, Connie. One day I'll have to show y'all my craft room. Y'all will be like, what kind of mess is this? Debbie Adams has seen it. Okay, so I'm going to take my little ones. I'm just going to tuck them in there. Okay. And then let's see. I don't know if I want to. I like my little scary dude. Oh, I love my little spiders. Okay. They should fit in here just perfectly, okay? Oh, this is my favorite one. Which, please? I'm going to tuck that behind there. Okay. So now we're going to move on to our little itty bitty monster pocket. And that one is so easy to do. I call it the monster bite, okay? So this one, you're going to need your solid colored cardstock. It's going to be 9 3/8 by 3 inches. Going to score at a 1/2 inch. And then on your 9 3/8 inch side, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch. And then at 8 7/8, okay? And sorry, I've got some glue on my hands. It's driving me crazy. I'm going to go ahead and miter my corners again. This one, I don't have to do such a large miter. I'm just going to do a small little one. Just at a slight angle there. And again, up to my score line. And then for my pattern paper, I'm going to go ahead and glue that on now. You're going to need that one at 8 1/4 by 2 1/2. Okay. Sorry, it's going to be slightly under 2 1/2. I lied. 2 3/8. I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here. And I'm just going to center this. Burnish that in. And then fold on my little hinges. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to turn this to the side just because it's a little bit easier for me. And then again, just like last time when we were adding on our angle pocket, we want to move up just a slight, you know, 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Because we definitely don't want to cover that score line. Okay. So let me go ahead and, oh, wait, I lied. Hold on, guys. Before we do that, we want to make our monster bites because it's too hard to cut this if we don't. So I'm going to start off with my edge, and I'm just going to do some little bite marks. It's kind of random. Maybe make a couple littler ones. Okay, that looks good to me. All right, now we can add our glue on. And again, if it's easier for you like it is for me, I work with my bottom first and then fold in my sides because I really want to make sure that this is as straight as possible. And I like to line mine up so that it is straight. And I'm just going to center it a little bit. Again, making sure I stay away from that score line. And start burnishing it in. Wipe off that excess glue first. Okay. Now I can go ahead and glue the rest of my hinges. And burnish that in. Now, if I remember this correctly, this should be about 2 inches, but I'm going to double check first. Oh, it isn't. We're going to say 1 1/4 inch by 8 3/8. So let me grab a, let me see if this is 8 3/8. Nope. Okay. So I'm going to cut it at, I'm going to cut the 8 3/8 inch first. Whew. I'm going to do 1 1/4. And that's going to fit right on in there. Now, for my 4x6 card that I used, just going to center this first before I go on about my 4x6 card. I did have to trim off a little bit on the top and the bottom in order for this to fit in the pocket correctly. And then I'm just going to use my Too Cute to Spook, and I'm going to tuck that in there. But let me show you my little photo book that I made real quick. This one's super easy. You're going to need a piece of paper that is 4 1/4 by 6 1/2. And you're going to score at 3 1/4. And that makes your cute little booklet. And I kind of thought that this looked like a book page. So I'm going to go ahead and add that on there. Oops. I'm just going to center that. And then you'll just add in your photo mats, which are going to be 3 by 4. Okay? Or you can just add in your photos. You don't even have to do photo mats. Okay, so we're almost getting to the end, guys. We're going to be doing our smaller little, this is our larger waterfall. Okay, and let me grab my paper here real quick. I call this one my monster waterfall. Okay, let's start off with our ribbon. I did 2 pieces at about 18 inches. Okay, and that's a little long, like I said, but I like to, it's better to be safe than sorry. Sorry, let me move these out of the way real quick. Clean up my work area. I've got some craziness going on here. Okay, so for the monster waterfall, you're going to need your base page. Okay, and if you want to use magnets instead of ribbon, you can do that as well. Your base page again is 3 7/8 by 8 1/4. Okay, and then you're going to need 2 pieces of pattern cardstock. That's going to be a 1 inch by 3 1/2. Okay. And what I did is I already went ahead and put my little bite marks on there, okay? And then for my trick or treat cut apart, I went ahead and took off 1/4 inch on each side, okay? And so we're gonna put that to the side real quick. And this is up to you, okay? If you wanna put your ribbon underneath the top and the bottom, underneath your paper, you can. But for this one, let me show you how I did it over here. I thought this was kind of cute. I just kind of centered it in here and between my little shark bite bottom and this top little card, and I think that, you know, fits a little snugger, if that's the way I can say it. Snugger? Is that a word? I don't even know. Okay, so let's go ahead, and for me, I'm going to add this on here. Just line that up there. Okay. Now I'm going to burnish it in. Wipe off any excess glue. And we're going to work on our waterfall. These measurements, you're going to need 6 again at 3, and I'm sorry, that's not 3 3/8, excuse me. 6 at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. For your pattern paper, you're going to need 12 at 13, excuse me, 13 at 3 3/8 by 4 7/8, okay? So we're going to go ahead and score on our waterfalls. Get that out of the way. Okay. Or burnish those in, fold them over. Last one. Okay. So I'm going to put these up here, and I'm going to start with my first one. And I'm going to grab my, oh, here it is. Okay. I'm going to start off with my little decoration here, my little shark bite. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to add some glue at about 1/2 inch. And that's going to be my bottom. I'm just lining that up right there so I can see the 1/2 inch line. Okay, flip it over. And then you can see your little shark bite at the bottom. I'm going to turn it over again and do the same thing. Line it up on here. Add my little glue line. And line it up at a 1/2 inch. And burnish that in. Okay. And then I'm going to add this to my thank you so much, Debbie. I'm going to add this to my first one. Okay. Just going to center it. I haven't added my ribbon on yet. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I get all my little bumps here on my teeth mark. Okay. I want the glue to hit all of that. Center it and start getting rid of that excess glue. Okay. And burnish it in. Okay, again, I'm going to get out my score tape. Well, here it is. Get my score tape. And for my first one, I'm just going to add that score tape on there. Burnish it in. And at this point, I'm going to add on one of my ribbons. And I'm just going to center it. Okay, add my glue. Now, last time I had you all go a 1/2 inch. We're actually going to go a little closer to our edge, okay? So instead of a 1/2 inch, we're going to go about 1/8 of an inch, okay? Let me keep this forward so it doesn't get messed up. I'm going to center this, and I'm going to go down about 1/8 of an inch from the top where the black is, okay? And then I'm going to burnish it in. Okay. Looks pretty good. Might need to move it just a little bit. Where's my foam folder? Okay. And then I'm just going to keep on moving down. Same thing as before. Slightly over my last piece. Looks good. Hi, Annette. Sorry, my computer goes slower than my phone, and I have to be looking at my phone. So I apologize. Okay. We're just going to keep going down till we're at the end. I'm just going to be honest with you guys on this one, because you're going to have magnets on the opposite side of here. I really would stick with the ribbon on this particular waterfall. This one you don't need to worry about that, but this one you do. Okay. I did not check to see if that was straight. I should have. Okay. There we go. Hold that in place and then burnish it in. We're almost to our last one. Okay. Looks good. All right, and burnish that in. Okay, I'm going to turn it back around this way. Okay, I want you to take this little piece, and I already made a tick mark, so I know where my center is, okay? But I drew a line about a 1/2 inch from the bottom, and this is where I'm going to do my little monster teeth, okay? I just didn't want to go over that so that I wouldn't lose any photo space, okay? I'll do a big one there. A couple little ones. Because, you know, this monster's got to have some crazy fangs. Okay. Now, for our final one, again, we're just going to go over this piece a slight little hair, about a 16th. Oh, before I do that, let me glue this on. So I'm going to line it up. Oh, hold on. Let me lose a little more of this tooth because I really want it to center right. Okay. There we go. Just want to make sure it stays in the center. Okay. Use a little bit of tape just to make sure it stays in place while it's drying. Okay. And I'm going to make sure I glue all this on here. Make sure you put plenty of glue around where your ribbon is, okay? And I'm just going to go over a slight here. And again, because I use chalk, just going to come off. Okay. And not only that, my photo mat is going to line up just to this edge anyway. So I'm okay with that. They're not really going to see it. It'll cover up. All right, so that is your last waterfall. And now we're working on our final piece, which is going to be our, I guess you want to call it maybe like a Z fold or something, but I just call it a fold over page. You just trim these off a tad. Okay. And I'm gonna, oh, I forgot to tell you to fold on your score lines. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to be working on this final piece right here. We're going to need a magnet for this one, so I went ahead and grabbed mine. You're going to need some pretty strong ones. And I found that it was easier to put it in the center. It just held it better. I don't know how else to say that, but it did. You grab my tape. And, oh, here it is, guys. I'm delirious. I already cut it. Okay. For your pattern paper, you're going to need 4 pieces for the actual fold piece. And let me give you that measurement real quick. You're going to need a sheet of cardstock at 8 1/4 by 8 3/8. On the 8 1/4 inch side, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch, and then 4 3/8. You're going to fold your hinge back and fold your paper forward. So That's pretty easy, and we're going to go ahead and attach that. All right. This one, I'm just going to butt it right up to the edge, and I'm going to center it. In fact, for me, it's going to be a little bit easier to keep this out of my way. And grab my little edge here. Oops. And I'm getting a little crazy with the glue, guys. We're in the home stretch. Okay. I'm going to burnish it in. Wipe off any excess glue. And if you have it butt right up to your edge, it should fold over really nice, okay? Now, for our pattern paper, this is going to be your last piece because I said you would have, I think I said 8, 2, 4, 6, yes, 8. This is your last piece at 3 7/8 by 8 1/4. And if I did this right, it's going to lay right on here. And it did. Yay! And just glue it down. Now for me, I just kind of found it easier to glue the paper down before I do my little corner bite mark. Of course, you don't have to do that. It's not necessary. You can just leave it the way it is. But before I glue all these down, I do want to find where my other magnet goes. I know it's down there, okay? And I found it. It just snaps right into place, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add a little piece of tape there. Make sure it doesn't move. Okay, and for your pattern cardstock, you're going to need 4 at 3 3/4 by 8 1/8. Okay, 2, 4, yes. I'm going to go ahead and glue these on here. And just center that. And burnish it in with your bone folder. Make sure you get out any air pockets. I'm going to keep on going and adding these on here. Thank you guys so much for joining in and joining in on with me on these. I just love crafting, and crafting with y'all makes it even better. Okay. We're going to add this one on, and then we have one more. And then we get to do some decorating and add on our closure here. Okay. Just going to center that as well. And burnish this in. Okay, I've got like 1,000,001 pieces of paper over here. Let me get rid of these. There we go. That's better. Phew, okay. So now we're just ready to decorate this little baby and get our little closures on here. It's looking so cute. Okay, let me grab my little yarn here. Okay. And I kind of like the look where there's more than one, and I'm just going to center this. I'm going to make it kind of long right now, and I will trim it down. Probably be better with my glue gun, but I could actually, you know, add some score tape here. Just going to guess where my center is. Okay. I'm going to try to press that on there. Sorry, oops. I'm going to go ahead and trim that in half. I'm going to try to make this lie a little flatter and add a little glue underneath here. Okay, guys? Now for my cover piece, I still love my trick or treat. I do. I just love that, so I'm going to continue with that. Hold on, let me push this into place a little bit. Okay. I'm going to add a little score tape to make sure that my ribbon does not come out. I'm going to lock that in there. Hi, Ruja. Okay, I'm sorry, the lag on my thing is... Okay. And I'm just going to center that in there. And burnish it in. And I'm going to do the same to my other side. But this time I'm actually going to take my string. I'm going to make a little mark so I know where it goes. I'm going to grab a little bit more. Grab my score tape. And apply it where I made my little mark. And burnish that in. Add a little glue. Sorry, I made this a little bit long in there. I'm going to cut that off. Okay. Now let's see, what am I going to put on my back? I like the little kitty cat. That's cute. Okay. All right, guys. I've got a big mess going on here. You turn this around. Oops, score tape. Now you should be able to make this with 6 sheets, and that's still using one of them as your cut apart. So you could literally make 2 of these with 1 pack. Oops, not upside down, little kitty. Then we're just going to center that. Okay. And burnish it in. And then for my final piece of ribbon, I'm going to tuck this and make it kind of extra long again. I sure am wasting a lot of this. And this is my favorite. I've had this for like 3 years. And every Halloween, I use it over and over again. Okay. Move that out of the way. And I kind of need a little punchy tool because I'm not the best with this. Perfect. Thank you, Donna. And I'm going to push that down in there. What the heck? Oh, please go. Guess I'm going to have to, hold on, guys. I may have to end up using something else while we're on screen here. This could take us forever. Oh, I got it. Oh my gosh, miracles do happen, guys, don't they? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and angle this again since I did it last time. And maybe that'll help. Okay. Guys, gonna see me wrestle with this? I was scrapping all right. Wrestling with this little piece of yarn. Oh my gosh, it just doesn't want to go in. That's crazy. Let's try it again. Come on, work with me, guys. I think it's because I've had too much coffee. Bye, Connie. Oops, come on, work with me. It's like just curling up at that little end there. It's making me crazy. Come on. There we go. Well, guys, I may have to use a different string because it doesn't want to work. Only when I'm on screen. Get in there. Yay! Go, 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 go. Yes. Oh my gosh, guys, I was sweating here. You don't think I was, but I was. Okay, here we go. Just going to tie my little tie in the center there. And I just added more of this ribbon in order to make it the bow look a little fuller. Okay. But it is as cute as can be. All right, let me tie this. I'm not going to tie it up. Hold on. I'm lying to you. I'm not tying it up just yet because I want to add my stickers. Look at all these cute, cute stickers. First of all, I love the little spider here. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Let me give you all a couple seconds to pop on in. Hi, Monica. Hi, Becky and Tasha. I am so sorry. Hi, Cynthia. Tasha, how have you been? I'm telling you, I don't know what it is with the internet today. We do have a lot of storms going on, so I do apologize. It's been raining on and off. Okay, so here are the stinking cute stickers. Let's get these babies on here and finish this little sucker up. Okay, so I think I'm going to use the little witch's hat, and I'm going to put it over here in this corner, I think. Oh, that is too cute. Love that. Thank you, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, see, I'm so corny. I'm going to put that on here because I am so corny, okay? I have the worst jokes in the world. My kids think I'm crazy. And then I love this little poison bottle. So I'm going to put that in the center here. These stickers are so fun. Let me see what else we can do here. Oh, I want to do the spider. But yeah, I think I'll do the spider here, and then later on I'm going to use some black glossy accents, and I'll do my little dot line for the spider web. Or no, I have to use white. Duh. Okay. And then we'll go on our inside here. And I love the little kitty, but we've already got the kitty there. So I'm thinking let's do a pumpkin. Let's do a pumpkin. And then let's do the moon. That's cute. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Regina. Hi, Christine. Okay, and then over in the corner, we'll do Boo to You. Okay. Then we'll open this up. Let's see what we have. We'll do some happy haunting. Oh, wait, no. I love this one. Gimme candy. And then we'll add some candy pieces here. Now I kind of have to be careful because this is orange polka dots and these have polka dots on here too. So even though I have some orange candy pieces, I'm not going to use those on this exact section here. I'm going to open it up. And then this was the perfect spot to put Happy Halloween. Thought that was really cute. And then down here, oops, sorry about that. I think I'm going to put, should we do the bat, guys? I don't know. I feel bad because we already have a bat down here. But I really love the bat, so I'm going to emphasize that. Oops. Put it at a little angle there. And then maybe we'll do another pumpkin over here. Okay. Oops. And then I'm thinking I can add in the Boo banner right over here. Okay. And then I'll have my photos down here. And then maybe I'll do the spooky down at the bottom here. And have this guy kind of creeping over here. So cute. Anyway, guys, I hope you all like what I've made. And I can't wait to see y'all's too. If you have an Instagram or even on Facebook, if you hashtag PhotoPlay, that lets Lori Allred be able to find you with the PhotoPlay hashtag. And hopefully she will find you, and then we can see you guys on the PhotoPlay page. They might highlight your project. So anyway, thank you again so much, guys, and I will see you again, not this coming Wednesday, but the next Wednesday. Bye, y'all. Thank you, Monica. Thank you guys so much for joining after all my technical difficulties. Bye, guys.